Hello YouTube friends, I'm sitting outside in the pavilion. It's Friday, it's usually my pottery day, but it's half term from pottery this week, so I'm not there. And I'm glad I'm not there because I haven't been feeling very well these past few days. I'm never ill, but I've had a cold, just a cold that came on quite quickly, and it's kind of disappearing today, but I haven't been able to get on with any of the things that I wanted to do, none of them. So but it is a beautiful day, so I am up I was in bed all day yesterday. I'm up now, sitting in the pavilion, trying out my new lapel mic. Somebody, there was a comment on the last video who said, "You can't hear you, Kate, can't hear you." So, for the princely sum of £10, I've bought this lapel mic from Amazon, and we're going to see if it works. I'm not going to do an active video today. There's nothing much happening. I've just had a little look around the garden. I'm going to show you some things that looking pretty in the garden. Obviously, we'll look at the kittens who are 12 days old today. And then I'm going to show you what I was working on before I took this nosedive and got a bit ill. I've just walked all around the garden, you know, and in the past 2 days when I haven't really been outside much, such a lot of watering needs to be done. So I'll have to wait for it to be evening and then come round and water, seriously water. Everything's so dry, you know, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. What do you get like when you're ill? I don't mind being ill if I've got the leisure time to be able to give up and just let it happen. So I was in bed last night. I couldn't sleep last night. I was just feeling all bunged up and headachy, and so I couldn't sleep. And I was watching the moon through the window. It was beautiful. I thought, let's just give up on the idea of going to sleep. Just lie here quietly watching the moon. And then the moon was replaced by dawn and the dawn chorus. It's absolutely gorgeous. All these birds singing their little hearts out. So, although I'm really tired, I'm not going to complain because it was, I think I'm on the mend. That's me getting better, going upwards. I have to be because there's so much to do around here. Well, let's have a little look, shall we? At that little pot around the garden I've just done, and then the quilt project at the end. And then I promise you, kittens, they're beautiful. They really are. So let's do that, shall we? Okay. Let's see how this works. It should hopefully reduce the wind sound and make it easier for you to hear me. Let's hope that's true. I showed you these clematis in tight buds a few days ago. They're just starting to come out. There's lots more buds, so it'll be an absolute carpet of white when it does come out. I really like this clematis. Planted it years ago. It's growing all the way along the front of the house. It's gorgeous. So then just turning round from the clematis, this is the bistort that's at the end of the courgette bed. And this little bed here on the other side of the courgettes is just starting to emerge with the carrots and the lettuce and lamb's lettuce and radishes. And then here, these are doing really well. This is the potatoes. I have potatoes in 2 places in the garden. Here's like my little Buddha garden, and there's a Solomon seal there on the left that is doing so well this year. Now the table bed, I planted this up with you on Monday, and it's Friday today. I could be picking the outside leaves of those lettuces. They're doing so well. I did get out and water those a couple of times, so that's doing brilliantly. Some people were asking about the construction of this bed. My dad made it. A few things I'd point out is, make it much stronger than you think you need it, and use treated timber, because it's going to be in contact with the wet a lot, isn't it? Another comment was about elderflower. What is elderflower? Because it was in the royal wedding cake, wasn't it? Well, this is the tight buds of the flowers of the elder tree. and we'll keep an eye on these as well, and I'll show you what this looks like when it's in full flower. Absolutely beautiful flower, the elderflower. So here's a pretty bit then. The herbs here. I'm obviously not showing you all the weedy bits. So there's a little romp around the garden. Very quick. And the next little bit I want to show you is the quilt commission I'm working on. It's beautiful indigo dyed fabric from a supplier called Merchant and Mills, and the fabric is Indian block printed fabric. It runs like mad when you wash it, so the advice from them is to wash it first with salt, which fixes the dye a little. It still will run and fade as the time goes on. Now, if you remember the flying goose quilt that I made at Easter, that was like the warm-up run for this quilt, and so the person I'm making this for chose the fabric, chose the layout, and if you look at this you'll see that the well, we'll put it on, let's have a look. So this is a flying goose quilt, and you can see, can't you, that the geese triangles are going in opposite directions, up and down, which gives you a different kind of shape in between. If you look here, you can see that it's, instead of being a triangle shape, it's a lozenge shape. The triangles then make a completely different shape than the one I made at Easter, which is where it was all triangles up, triangles down. Here we've got this lovely lozenge shape. I really like how you can play with patchwork shapes like that and make quite a different look to it. So I did all of that on Tuesday, put all that together on Tuesday, just the individual pieces, and laid it all out. And it had been my plan to sew it together Wednesday and Thursday, but it just hasn't happened. So it might be, I don't want to do it today either, because I want to get a real degree of accuracy about it. And, you know, if you're not feeling 100%, it's not going to work. It's an interesting quilt, this one, because the person who's it's for, instead of me hand quilting it, she wants to get it quilted on a machine quilted. So I've never machine quilted any of my quilts before, but I'm really interested to see how it looks. So I phoned up the people that it's going to and spoke to them. They told me all the requirements they need for me to send a quilt to be machine quilted. They'll do that and then send it back to me, and I get to put the binding on, because I love putting the binding on, and that's sensible because they don't do binding. So I'll do the binding, which means I get to see it machine quilted. I'd be really interested to see how it looks, actually. Who knows, I might machine quilt all my quilts after this. There's another quilt that is in production at the moment, and this one is my daughter-in-law, using similar fabric, wants to make a quilt. She wants to make it, but with me helping her a little bit, and she wants to do that using the same fabric, but really nice big 8-inch squares. So we had a play around with that on Tuesday as well, and I'll put a little video in here of her making those design decisions.
What about this one? Should we move him?
Well, it's hard to get far enough back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty big. It's bigger than I was picturing it.
No, it's going to lose ½ an inch off every square on her.
Okay.
Because this is 8.5-inch squares, and we're going to sew them together. It's going to be 64 inches when we've finished it.
Yeah.
And so we've got 8 different designs there of this indigo fabric from Merchant and Mills, and it's going to be 64 inches square. Very simple quilt, but you can see straight away the minefield you've got when you start putting it up, can't you? Because you can endlessly tweak it. It's a good idea to live with it for a couple of days.
Yeah.
But
what about square spots and round spots?
I like those.
Next to each other?
Well, it's your quilt, Anna. That's the best part, really. Well, everything about quilting is loads of fun. I really enjoy it. So there are swallows wheeling overhead. I've just seen 2 going there. I saw a woodpecker on the peanuts this morning. So the birds are really enjoying themselves. The cats, all 4 of them, mooching about somewhere in the sunshine. So everyone's kind of chilling out, and I'm going to take a lead from them, and I'm just going to chill out today. There's nothing terribly pressing that needs to be done. I do things like, feed the hens, collect the eggs, and tonight I'll do a really, really, really big watering. But for now, I'm just going to... I'll tell you what I was going to do. I was going to make a plan of what YouTube videos you might like to see. Now, so far, I've just randomly put YouTubes up there of things that I like to do. I'm not going to stop doing things I like doing, but I was going to ask you if there's anything particularly you would like to see that's along the lines of what I do already that I could make a video about. Yes, I was going to do that. You know what to do. Leave a comment in the box below. Also, the shop is looking pretty tatty at the moment because grateful for you people who bought things, but it's just looking a bit of a mess at the moment. So I might have if I've got the energy for that, I might completely revamp the shop and make beautiful new things appear in it. But I might not as well. Let's see how the energy takes me for that one. I'm loving sitting outside. I might just stay here for a while. I think, though, lapel mic, 10 out of 10. Hasn't got a very long wire, so I can't go too far away from it. But hey-ho. We do what we can with what we've got, don't we? Thanks for listening, guys. I'm rambling now. I will catch up with you very soon. Take care.